Leonid Ilyich Brezhnev was a communist leader of Soviet Union for over 18 years. He actually built the USSR's military-industrial complex, which left the economy deprived. He also signed Arms Treaty SALT II with President Jimmy Carter, but a Senate refused to ratify the treaty, and then the USSR invaded Afghanistan. He was the communist leader of Cambodia. He actually nearly destroyed his country by implementing many bad policies. He actually did not have intention to do so. He just wanted the prosperity of country, and he once tried to move village people to cities and city people to villages, and failed, so he started to punish people to end his frustration. He came to power by rigging elections and spreading fear among people. In one election he did not get even one single vote from certain province, and that is why he planted the killing of over 20,000 civilians, and faked the stories about rebellion and treason. During his time, over 3 million people lost their jobs due to his land reform program. Joseph Stalin became the leader of Soviet Union after the death of Lenin in 1924. He actually launched government programs, which were helpful to more progressive economy. He tried to move to new economy, but it led Soviet Union to the starvation of almost 10 million people. He launched Great Purge, killing every person who opposed him. He was one of the most craziest and popular dictators of history. He was dictator of Uganda from 1971 to 1979. The crazy things he did included banning all Asians from Uganda, because a girl of an Asian family refused to marry him. He claimed to be the King of Scotland and apparently wrote love letters to Queen Elizabeth. Reigned to Libya and then Saudi Arabia, and died in 2003 in Saudi Arabia. Kim Jong-il came to power North Korea in 1998 after the death of his father, and he done some really absurd things in his life. He was praised to be the creator of universe, and he claimed that North Korea is the paradise on earth, where nobody is poor and nobody experienced poverty. He also kidnapped 2 of South Korean film directors to start the film industry of North Korea, and forcing those directors to make a remake of Godzilla. Famous because he was communist leader of China and former chairman of Communist Party of China. He made his theories based upon his studies, and he was a practical person, a poet too. He studied China and applied his theories to bring prosperity to the people of China in early years. Even people started to worship him. But all these were first years. Although he did good to the people of China, he hated law. Actually, he was the law of China himself. He implemented many laws and theories, which led China to bad days. He executed many enemies of the state, and even more than 5 million people of his country died due to him. Ruling Iraq by brutal hands and using fear and terror for power, Saddam started war with Iran and used actually chemical weapons against Kurds within Iraq. He came in power after many attempts of assassination. He was alleged to use chemical weapons on the Kurdish town of Halabja and killing over 5,000 people in March 1998. Came in power in the revolution of 1969. Gaddafi ruled Libya for over 42 years. His rule actually brought prosperity to Libya, and people led a better and much better life to the people of Libya, but he was crazy and crazy enough. His bodyguards included only female virgins, and he got really bad sense of fashion. He was killed by rebels and sired. Hitler, my friends, does not need any kind of introduction, as most of the people know who he was. He is the most famous and cruel dictator in the history of humanity. He is famous for being the leader of Nazis and killing almost 7 million people in the world, including 6 million Jews, and he committed thousands of other crimes, and nearly led whole world to a war.